today I want to talk about the PiVPN. I've got this up and running now on my Raspberry Pi Model 3B Plus, which I have done a couple of videos on previously. So if you watch those, if you haven't watched them, go back and look at those. And if you have watched them, you'll know what I'm talking about. But I'm really loving the Pi because I've set up several things. PiVPN is one of them. This is what I want to talk about today. This is the website for setting up PiVPN. It's called www.pivpn.io, and it's the PiVPN project here, which is a low-cost, high-security application that runs on the Raspberry Pi. I've got it running now with separate accounts for my iPhone, my iPad, my Linux, Arch Linux desktop or laptop rather, and my Windows 10 Pro main PC tower, and I'm connecting to it almost immediately when I hit the connection, and it's doing its job. It's 2048-bit RSA encryption, and stays rock solid connected until I either drop the Wi-Fi, leave the area of the Wi-Fi, or shut down the VPN intentionally. In order to, you need to go up on this website and read about this. If you have a Raspberry Pi, visit this website. I'll put the link down in the bottom there of the video. Take a look at it and install it, and I think you'll be very happy with it. I was paying €7, which is equivalent to about $8.50 or more in US dollars per month. For AirVPN, which is out of the UK now. It's a great VPN, don't get me wrong. Does things that the PiVPN doesn't, like hide your IP, and it can make you look like you're in another country when you're not. I don't really need that. All I need is to have a tunnel of secure traffic going from my device, my mobile device, out to the internet and back. And it is reachable outside the LAN. I can go out to an internet cafe, airport, library, connect to it on the device as well, because I've opened up the router with a port forwarding rule to get back to the Pi at the IP address of the Pi to actually connect to my PiVPN OpenVPN service. It is OpenVPN. There is one command that you need to run once you get into your Pi, which is running RaspbianOS in my case, which is a variation of Debian Linux. You may have something else installed. You may have Raspbian straight or something else installed. But here's the command. It's one command that you run, and it does everything for you. Pops up some screens. That you need to ask questions or answer rather questions that they've asked. To show you an appearance of what some of the questions are that they're asking you, is they're going to ask you what is the PiVPN interface. It's ETH0 in my case. 127.0.0.1 is the IPv4 DNS. The IP address of my Pi is 192.168.1.95, and then the gateway is 192.168.1.1, which is by router. All of these are pop-ups, by the way. You don't have to fill anything out. What you're looking at here is a link to a file that's under etc PiVPN that I am showing you here. The protocol that you use for your Pi is UDP. Do not use TCP. You can use TCP, but it's going to slow it down. You don't need TCP for VPN. All you need is UDP, which is User Datagram Protocol. You don't need the Transmission Control Protocol, Internet Protocol. The port here that I selected was the default port 1194. It is recommended that you change that port number for security, and later on I may do that. For now, I just left it at 1194. I encrypted at 2048. You have three options that you can go for here. You can go for 1024, 2048, or 4096. Now, 1024 takes a couple of minutes to generate the RSA encryption key that you'll need for the certificate, for the Pi, for the PiVPN, for the VPN server. If you run 2048, and I've got a internal solid state drive 2048 took a while to generate. It took over 30 minutes to generate this key. If you want to generate a 4096 key to be absolutely sure that you're protected, go for it, but expect to take several hours to generate that key, even with an extremely fast machine, which I have. Here are some of the other questions that are asked, like landlocal.acescom.com is the public DNS that I'm using for the dynamic DNS service. So that my IP address on the WAN side for the internet that's supplied by my ISP, if that gets changed, then the PiVPN is going to follow it. The router is going to follow it actually, and then it will let the Pi know that it has changed, and then I don't lose VPN that way. Here's the DNS for DNS1 and DNS2. These are two Google DNSs. I elected to use the Google DNS here in this case. And then here's the file that I was referring to. It's etc PiVPN out on Raspbian 3B+, which is the host name of my Pi. All right, so let's go ahead and close that. And I'm going to go ahead and show you how I set up the Pi. And well, I'm not going to go into the actual setup, rather, but I'm going to show you how I access it. I've got MOBA Xterm set up in Windows 10. I'm on the Windows 10 Pro platform, version 1903, by the way. Very good. If you haven't upgraded that yet, go ahead and do that. I've got a session here for getting in, so it's 192.168.195. I'm going to click on it. It gets me into an SSH session. Automatically logs me in SSH. I'm going to go ahead and do SU to get in as super user. In the password, and here I am. So the location of where Pi is installed, well, where the configuration is installed rather, is etc PiVPN. And if I do an ls/lh for a long listing here, you can see some of the things that are available within here. Detection of the platform, install the protocol, or port rather, the protocol, the user, UFW, the PiVPN interface, and then the setvars.conf file. Now, what I did was I created a separate user account. By default, your first user account in your PiVPN is the user Pi, which is the default user of the Pi itself. But you'll probably want to go ahead and set up separate accounts for each device you have, and that's what I've done. I've set up a user for my iPhone, for my iPad, for my Windows 10 platform, and for my Arch Linux laptop. And to do that, I'm going to show you, I'll just set up one for a generic device. I'll delete it later. To do that, all you need to do is do PiVPN add, and it asks you enter the name of the client. And this is a client that you have on your network that you want to set up an account for. So I'm just going to say node 1. Okay, and then it's going to how many days should the certificate last. You can change this, but by default it's 1080. I'm going to leave it at that. And then enter the password for the client. I'm just going to enter the word password. Don't do that on yours. Verify it. Okay, generates the key, creating that RSA private key for node 1. And then now if I go out to, let's see, go ahead and do a listing on that. I think under CD home Pi, which is my home directory on the Pi, there should be a folder, yeah, there should be a folder here, or a directory called OVPNS, which are the OpenVPN accounts, okay, and one of them I just created. And so I'm going to CD into OVPNS and then run a long listing of that directory, and you can see here's the node1.ovpn file that it generated. All right, and if we take a look at that, this is what it looks like. Okay, actually, let's see here. Yeah, this is every bit of it right here. So there's a lot of information here. Now, do you have to cut and paste or copy and paste this into anything? No. What you do is you go up on your device, the various ways to copy that OVPN file to your device. But let's assume that I'm going to set this up on an iPhone 7. Okay. What I can do, I've got a personal cloud. I could send it up to the personal cloud and get on the iPhone and bring it down. I could do it that way. Another way of doing it on the iPhone, very slick, is if you've got an Outlook account, you can email the OVPN to your email account at Outlook, and then get on your Mail app on the iPhone, which is connected to your Outlook account by default. You can set up different ones, but by default it's an Outlook account. And then once you have that, you can go up on the app in the App Store for iPhone, and then you can download the OpenVPN app, set that up, very easy to do, and then go back onto your email, go into the attachment where you uploaded the OVPN for Node 1, for instance, to your Outlook account. Click on it, and it's going to say, how do you want to open it? Just slide over the thing and slide to your OpenVPN app. Click on that, and it'll come up and say there is one file to import. Click Add to Import. It'll say it's imported successfully. And then when you do that, it'll ask you for a password. You put the password in, and then it's imported into your OpenVPN app. And then you can go ahead and run it from that. Okay, I'm going to show you how I did that for Windows 10 Pro. I'm going to go ahead and minimize this now. And what I did was I've got the OpenVPN app installed here in Windows 10. I don't know if I have a shortcut. Yeah, there it is, out on the desktop. And you don't have to open that to get in here. And I've already imported that. Okay. So what I did was you go here to the system tray area, you click the up arrow. There's the icon for OpenVPN GUI. All right. In Windows 10 Pro version 1903. All I need to do is right click on it, select the Win 10 Pro account that I created, the same way I created the Node 1 account, and go over and select Connect. Now, it comes up and asks me for a password, so I put the password in, hit OK, and if it's the correct password, it'll connect me, and when the window closes, I'm connected. It's very fast. All right, and so to confirm that I'm connected, you don't see it here, and the reason you don't see it here with a little padlock is because OpenVPN GUI runs separate from this area down here. What you have to do is open up this area, and you can see it's green. It was blank in behind. But if you pass your pointer over it, you can see where it says OpenVPN GUI connected to Win 10 Pro, connected since 5/31/2019 at 3:31 p.m., which is what it is right now. And then you can see that there's an IP address that's been assigned, and that's 10.8.0.3. Okay, so I am connected to VPN right now. And I have used this to get on various sites that, you know, I don't feel very comfortable getting on without a VPN, so that they can look at my traffic or track me or whatever. And it's working just great. And I've got Komodo Internet Security Premium 12. It doesn't interfere with that at all. Komodo's happy with it. So this is an easy thing to implement, an easy thing to put forward here in either Windows or Mac. I don't have a Mac, but you can do it. Or Linux. I've got it on the Arch Linux laptop and Apple devices. I've got it both on the iPhone and my iPad with their own accounts, and it works great. Okay, so this has been the video. I'm showing you how to take your Raspberry Pi and create a PiVPN server. Go ahead and comment down in the comments below. Click on the like button, and also, while you're at it, go ahead and subscribe to me. Hit that bell in the upper right-hand corner, and I'll notify you every time I create a video. Have a nice day. Take care. Bye-bye.